Right, we're back, guys. The stream's back. I'm loving this.
That is a classic.
Would you look at that? Rise of the Vincel. Yeah, it's unreal, isn't it?
He's a dangerous man. He'll choke you out without you saying a word.
Smoothie is the Rat King.
All but a joke. 'Twas harmless banter.
Are you kidding me?
What you made of my man?
Oh! Yay! Now the game's started up. Now the game begins. Hello, Jacky.
Evening.
Is it?
Morning.
I don't even know, mate. I can't even tell you.
No windows in the shed. I'm lost, bud.
Oh, thank you, Point of Plays, for gifting 5 tier 1 subs as well. Sorry if I missed anybody there. I was just dragging Jacky in. How much have we raised so far? Will I show it to get a show the progress to 40k? Well, I could do that, but remember, I don't expect to raise the full 40k from this. I think that would be a little bit unreasonable. 4,000 subs is enough for me. I think Sam will put a thing on. Oh, and a $100 donation as well. That's hang on, let me bring that up and read that. For some reason, I always miss the big donations. I don't know why. I've got a blind spot, maybe. I don't, what's going on? So let me just
slip right by you.
Yeah, let me just read that. Thank you, Big B 1058. You're actually a solid cunt despite choking children. I mean, look, you have to remember that the child looked at me funny. And, you know, I don't care how old you are. If you're mugging me off, mate, you're going to fucking get it, aren't you? I mean, you come into my fucking manor, give me them fucking eyeballs, your little goo-goo eyes. You know how it is. People obviously don't know where I'm fucking from. 1 minute you're letting a baby mug you off. You know, the next minute, you get slewed.
You never diss a man's peas. That's just,
yeah.
You know, that's just how it is. That's basic rules of life.
Fucking right. Yeah, obviously never choked a kid.
Allegedly.
Yeah, just wanna stress that. Never. But that is the meme, isn't it? We all love memes. And for a $100 donation, I will certainly play up to those memes. Thank you very much for your generosity, sir. Oh, good start to the broadcast as well. The Observer drops immediately. Yeah, I'll get back at you, Farley. Sorry, mate. The schedule's hectic today. You'll probably not see hide or hair of me until the fucking 3rd. I have to disappoint my my Dota stack and my Dota coach as well, mate. So it's all about the major for now.
My fucking pick'ems are absolutely fucked, by the way, if Ence don't win.
Shredded, are they?
Yeah, I'm fine as long as Ence and FaZe get through. So it's
yeah, that's exactly what I need, actually.
Oh, right.
So we're in the same fucking boat, mate.
Yeah, it's gonna be a rough one.
Cheers for the sub there, Rayman118. Appreciate it. What position do I play in Dota? I play 5 or 4, occasionally 3. But generally I'm a 4. Thanks to Scoots for the Twitch Prime. I believe I've heard of him. Amril AU, thank you.
It was the first time I've ever gifted subs today, so I was very confused by the whole system. I was like, what the fuck? How do I do this with, like, just people in the chat? It took me a sec to realise there's 2 options.
Yeah. You know, gifting subs, I think it was another nice addition Twitch made. I mean, I will say this. Good, yeah. Thanks, Dick Stacy's mom, for the tier 2. You may now dab on the haters. And thank you, the Traveller has come. You know, Twitch has a lot of issues, but they've definitely added some pretty cool features the past, you know, year or 2. I really need Ence to fucking pull through. Like, can you imagine a world where Ence lose to G2 Esports?
It would be ridiculous. Like, surely this can't happen.
Oh. Thank you, Eddie1482. Appreciate it. $10. Hey, man, I know it's rough, but you're doing a great job. Keep them going. I will. I certainly will. I don't know how to stop. Thanks for the 5 tier 1 subs as well. Karagos, appreciate it, my friend. People are saying Ence is overrated. I mean, I don't know about that, dude. They were looking really good on an upward trajectory. They were ready to beat elite level teams. And then for some reason, they're just, the week 2 just fucking sucked, man.
It looks like pressure, dude, though. Like, literally everything they were doing that was going wrong just seemed like they were either overcomming or just not coming at all. They were, like, rushing in. The amount of misplays they had where it just seemed like they were so fucking either pumped or just scared.
Yeah.
I genuinely think they've just been hit by nerves in the position they're now in.
Well, Sergey's not fucking feeling it. He's had a pretty good major, all things considered, if you go look at his numbers. Sergey, I think he's just turned 17. I might even be wrong. He might still be 16.
I think he's still 16 at the minute.
The kid is fucking insane.
Actually, unreal.
Yeah. Again, remember, when you're supporting all these FPL heroes, you do have a real, genuine 16-year-old who is amazing and a world beater. Thank you, Fat X Poppers, for the $5. Appreciate it. And the real Hans Moleman again. Would you look at Scat? Vince Banks, apparently, is what he says. $5. Thanks a lot, buddy.
Amazing.
That's something from my nightmares. Some would say Lovecraftian. I don't want to look at Scat. Thank you, David Weisenheimer, for the tier 1 sub. Yeah, the Observer's a little bit all over the place. This is auto-directed still. I hope so.
Yeah, I don't think the Observer's back in.
Yeah, all right, good. That makes sense.
Yeah, it's still out. By the way, here's something I was going to ask you about, because I thought you'd probably know more about this.
Yeah.
You see with the next major being in Berlin, right?
Yeah.
If Ence win this, and they're like fucking new champions, right?
Yeah.
How fucked are they with Sergey? Because from what I've seen,
I don't-
everyone's been saying
Yeah,
how
I
if you're
don't-
under 16 or you're 16, you're fucked.
No, I think it's right. So I did some looking into this after we talked about it on the stream with someone, and basically what it is if you're working, you can't work past a certain time at night. That's it. You can still work. You just can't work past a certain time at night. So there may have to be some clever scheduling for the games, but obviously they'll do that. So, yeah.
All right, so they just need to actually put them in like the early games and just do it that way. Which
Yeah.
would work out fine.
Yeah.
Really.
And and someone says in the chat there might be something to do with parental permission as well. That might be a thing. I mean, that's not a problem either. I think it's much ado about nothing to get Shakespearean for 2 minutes. I think basically people are looking already to craft like a bit of drama, some narratives around the next major, and honestly, I don't think it'll be a factor. I mean, as I said, he played at Cologne with no issues. So
Yeah, also true. Yeah. Because that's why I thought it was a bit bizarre. Because I was like, there's been fucking loads of tournaments, and I was just like, all right, well, maybe I've just not heard of this, and it's just sort of slipped by me. But I thought it was just fucking crazy, as that was actually a thing.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if it was a thing. I mean, Germany is ass backwards when it comes to lots of things, and video games is definitely one of them. And it still blows my mind that the original Mortal Kombat was like fucking banned.
Well, dude, I remember as well, like, with Gamescom and shit, how they were showing off like one of the fucking, I can't remember what it was like one of the RTS games that were coming out. And just in the hall, like behind curtains, they were showing that. And obviously, the game they had was set in World War II, so it's full of swastikas and like German stuff in game. But it's like, well, this is just highly illegal to be shown in this country. Pretty sure this just isn't allowed.
Yeah, I think they've actually changed that law recently. It used to be you couldn't display any form of swastika or any Nazi paraphernalia, even in context, even so when, for example, Tarantino, I think, filmed *Inglourious Bastards* on location in Germany. I think he had to get some special passes and permits and whatnot, special dispensation, Because even if you're an actor, you can be arrested and go to prison for it. Turns out they're a little bit sensitive about that whole thing for some reason. But yeah, to put it back to Counter-Strike a second. When there was a shooting, I believe, some kid who'd been bullied or something at school. It was really freaky, actually. A guy on my Steam messaged me saying, "Hi there, Richard. Big fan. Followed your Counter-Strike reporting for a while. I am friends with the kid who just shot these other guys in Germany, and I want to show you he's a member of these groups." And he had like some very disturbing like Steam messages and stuff that I got, and the kid got took and put into an institution. Well, anyway, this is while I was at E-League, and we would syndicate our broadcast to Germany. And basically, Germany said like we can't show E-League at the time because
shit. Yeah, because of that.
Yeah, so they pulled the German broadcast because of that shooting. So I mean, they do take that shit unbelievably seriously. But I mean, like I looked at this kid's. It was really weird because a lot of people were trying to frame the kid that he was like ISIS, but he was just into all this like unbelievable, like crazy edgelord shit, like playing like versions of Civilization, called like the Master Race Will Rise, and he had screenshots of it and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, that kind of stuff, game related, edgy shit like that. And I probably still got all the fucking screenshots, but I didn't want to. Again, I didn't want to publish it because it kind of felt like there was really nothing to be gained after the fact. It was kind of clickbaity. And on top of that, I didn't want to put the kid in any danger in case there was any identifying way to, get the screenshots. And plus I was at E-League. Yeah. So, so I didn't do it. But yeah, I think he was an Iranian. He was like an Iranian. He was of Iranian descent in Germany, and he was bullied at school. And it was really fucked up because, you get all those fucking, the right-wing assholes always, he's got Iranian family. It's ISIS or something. He may even have said, oh, yeah, this is for ISIS or whatever. But actually, when you boiled it down to the minutiae, the kid was just bullied at school, so. Which, by the way, before we, a heavy conversation at 4:15, but before you get into any talk about radicalization or politics, the fundamental thing that drives people to commit these heinous acts very often is feelings of isolation and bullying. Try being nice to people who make the world a better place, eh? What do I know?
Yeah, dude. I don't know. It's just dynamic. People are just arseholes, really, especially children. Like, mostly children's schools, good majority of them tend to be arseholes. That was why I pulled out and played a lot of Counter-Strike. Now I live in a shed.
It works out. It works out, kids.
It swings and roundabouts.
No, I mean, I fucking, I think back to school and the inherent, fucking cruelty of the pack. I think about this a lot. I was on Facebook the other day. I logged in for some reason. I log in to check my messages kind of sporadically because occasionally people like email me stuff through that,
Yeah.
And fuck, man, I looked over and there was like there was a guy I went to school with, in my class, and he was like, round 2 of chemo today, and it was like a photo of him with a thumbs up and a chemo bag in his arm, and I was like, man, this kid got no fucking breaks, because this kid was a fucking this kid was an epileptic at school. And I remember distinctly there was one day he was holding, like, when you came out of assembly, you had to hold the door open for everybody else. And he was holding the door open and, like, he had a fit and kind of got trapped in the doorway and was, like, seizing and smashing his head off the doors. And I remember, like, sort of running over to help him out. And there was, like, other kids just laughing about it. And I was like, fuck, man, like, And then at school, there was this other time we used to, we used to let him play football with us. I used to insist on it, man, because, this kid's like a fucking outcast. And, because of his epilepsy, people don't want to be around him in case he has his, it's just a heavy trip to lay on a kid, I suppose. But anyway, I used to let him play football with us. And remember one time he scored this goal and he ran off, like, doing a celebration. And then he was on the floor, like, you know, bouncing up and down, and everybody thought he was still celebrating. He'd had another fucking seizure, hadn't he? So we had to go over and fucking, you know, fish his tongue out and stuff. And I just thought this kid, like, he had a fucking terrible time. He just had a terrible time in his life, and he's my age, and now he's getting cancer treatment. And it's like, fuck, man. You ever know those people that just can't get a fucking break?
That's the thing, dude. Like with life, it is hard when you see like that. There's so many people that you can see like throughout growing up and stuff, where it's just like, holy shit. Yeah. Like you realize you become so thankful for the things you have in like so many ways. Just like, I don't know. It's sort of every year that goes on, I've realized more and more. So I suppose it is just growing up, really. But you learn to appreciate sort of literally fucking everything for the most part. It is crazy. On the subject of bullying as well, here's one for you might actually enjoy.
Nothing like bully talk at 4 a.m. I love it. Play it on me.
It's quite a wholesome story. It's quite a good one.
Good. I like that.
So when I was in school, like literally, I was bullied the fuck in school. It was terrible. You know what? I don't blame it because it was literally the reason why I played so much Source. So without it, I wouldn't have a job. I wouldn't have anything. So fuck it. Like I'd never change it. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But there was a kid who we'll give a pseudonym for the sake of protecting us.
I like it.
We'll call him Die Hard.
Okay.
There you go. Right. So Die Hard was a bit of an arsehole. And essentially at every opportunity...
Is his surname Willis?
I don't know what you're on about.
Okay, good. Right, just saying. Okay.
Right. So, yeah.
All right.
No.
Yeah,
that's why I've gone for Die Hard, but you're on a similar level, but don't worry. It's different enough. Yeah. So basically, he was just an absolute prick. Like, he just spent the entire time I was in school just being an arsehole to me. He was a bit fucking crazy. Like, I remember I went around his house one time to play Yu-Gi-Oh or something, and he had a knife sticking out his wall, and he told me how, like, he used to, you know, lash out when he'd get sad. So obviously I was just like, oh, all right, well, he's just a bit mad, isn't he? He nearly broke my arm at one point because he grabbed my arm, bent it all the way behind my back, and I couldn't, like, he was a bit bigger than me at the time, so I couldn't get out of the grip, and he's like nearly fucking broke my arm before a teacher could stop him. Yeah. And the school I went to was very sort of lenient to bullies. They didn't give a shit, right? Like, they just let him go and draw in the headmaster's fucking office. That was their punishment. Right. And they were like, oh, don't worry about him. He'll be fine. So this went on for years. My mum pulled me out, didn't go back to school, and everything was sound, right? A couple of weeks ago, I went to the shop to grab some bits. This kid comes over to me. No idea who the fuck... Well, I say kid. This man comes over to me. No idea who the fuck he is. It's fucking Die Hard. And he looks me right in the eyes and just goes, sorry, are you Jack? And I went, yeah. And he went, oh, I didn't think I'd ever see you again, but I just wanted to say that I'm really fucking sorry for everything that I did when we were in school. And I was like... oh, hang on, sort of like clocked who it is and realized, and he just went, yeah, I just really wanted to apologize. Like, you know, after growing up and realizing everything that I've done, I sort of figured out I made your life shit. Like, I was a complete arsehole. I've been thinking about this for years, but I never thought that I'd actually see you. Apparently, he's now studying to become a teacher. Like, he had to go through loads of shit, like with his mental health, and he realized that he was just like an unnecessary, outrageous arsehole his entire life. And apparently felt really bad about it. So, Poggers in the chat.
Yeah, I had a similar story to that. There was this guy called Nicholas who used to fucking bully me real savage when I was at school. And the thing was, he was like 2 years older as well, you know? Or, you know, a year or two older. He was definitely above me in school. And it was unreal levels of bullying. Like, I remember one time him and another lad, like, fucking pinned me down and were, like, force-feeding me soil on the fucking, like, school, you know, field. Because I was like a fucking coal miner's kid or something, so they were like making me eat dirt, like literally, you know, because that's where I was from. So anyway, I went away to university and didn't pay it no mind, and I came back one year, went back home from uni, and went to my local bar with my friends, like, you know, catching up because they all went to different unis. We catch up in the holidays, you know, between terms, and saw this geezer at the bar. Now, as people know, have seen pictures of me when I was at uni. I was fucking massive by then. So I went up to him. I was like, "Yo, are you Nicholas?" You know, blah, blah. And he was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Oh, you probably don't remember me from school. You know, it's me. It's Richard Lewis." And he was like, oh, yeah, fucking hell, I haven't seen you in a while. I'm like, yeah, you haven't really. Funny how we didn't keep in touch, you know. He was like talking to some girl or something. Oh, he's with his girlfriend. And he was like, yeah, I'm real sorry about that. And I just said, apology not accepted. And then I smashed his head off the bar and fucking... I won't tell the rest of the story, but that was my redemption arc. So, apology not accepted, mate. But yeah, so just be careful. Is what I'm saying. Bullying's not cool. So
nah, it's fucking rough. But it was just such a weird occurrence there because it was one of those things, you know, you just sort of allegedly. It's like, you know, when you just sort of forget about someone really even existing. You just, like, it's all gone because it was so fucking long ago. And you see that person, you're just like, fucking hell. Like, if that is actually true, then fair play to him. Like, whatever. He might have been absolutely mental, but like, if you do actually feel bad, then all right, I'll let you off, I guess. Like, who cares? I'm still alive. I don't give a shit. You made me play Counter-Strike Source, so here we are.
Mm. Yeah, he was one of the worst. Like, generally, you know, I didn't get a lot of bullying because I was quite a funny kid. I could use like comedy to sort of deflect a lot of it, but this kid just wasn't having it. And it was like, it wasn't that he was like particularly tough. He was just older and just strong enough, and he was friends with some other lads, and it was like that. So yeah, there was no way he was fucking getting a let off with a handshake. You know, got barred from that pub for that. It was worth it. Even though it was the local that I'd grown up in, couldn't fucking drink, and it was like, you know what? I'm definitely taking this one on the chin.
Wear that as a badge of honor. Just fucking let it happen.
Yeah.
Glad to see Ents have actually woken up now and everyone's fucking putting some effort in.
They ever let me back? Fuck, I don't even know. I know, like, even 5 years later, I was still barred. And I think it even changed ownership, and they did that thing where they kept my picture in the bar, like, you know, get ready. Yeah, so it was like, fucking hell. To be fair, it was a flurry of aggression from nowhere. Like I say, I wasn't a nice guy back when I was like 20 or whatever. I had a lot of pent-up shit to work through. Partly caused by that guy. I honestly consider that therapy. that was part of actually. Oh God, yeah, that felt good. I even think back to that. It's like, ooh, gives me a nice warm fuzzy glow. But yeah, I had a lot of fucking pent up shit to work through. People don't realize, man, that shit leaves you with scars. Once you fucking, you know, and it's not just what happens at school. You know, fucking parents, fucking family, you know. You carry that shit a long time, you know. I still got a weird fucking relationship with my own mother. Can't really, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, you wanna just leave it where it belongs, but then it's like, you're like, fucking hell. Large part of why I'm so fucked is because of all of this shit, you know.
That stuff hangs heavy on you, though. Like, yeah, especially when you're so young as well, and you've got all of it going on, like with family. It's just fucking horrible to actually. I don't know. It's one of those things that, especially with me, I find I really perceive like the bad things that happen to me way worse. Like, I find it quite easily to sort of, you know, let good memories slip away. But anything that's ever been fucking like negative or wronged me will always stick in the front of my memory, and it's just like, this is just horrible.
Yeah. I ain't shit, man. I knew some kids that fucking had it worse, right? I got one of the saddest stories in the world, right? I was like friends with this guy called Michael, right? And he moved to my school like pretty late. And you know, we were kind of misfits, so I made a point of making friends with him and bringing him into my group and stuff. And you know, he had like a fucking tragic story. Like his mother couldn't really fend off his like fucking alcoholic, abusive father. Like he had like his father was crazy. Like he'd attacked him with like a fucking axe or something when he was a kid. He had all these like fucked up. Yeah, like I asked him about it first time I saw him do PE with me. And he had all these fucked up scars on his back, and I was like, "What the fuck happened then?" He's like, "Yo, And my dad had fucking like he had a schizophrenic or drug-induced episode and like fucking axed him. So after that, when you hear that about somebody, you're kind of like, all right, yeah, this guy really needs some fucking friends,
Yeah.
So me and him were buddies at school, but then as we started getting a little bit older, he started getting into substance abuse and kind of graduated onto heroin. And he was being looked after by this like foster family, and they were fucking scumbags. They were like these foster parents that like farm foster kids for money. And they had like a grandkid who lived with him. And basically, like, I went round to like Michael's house like one time, and Mike was like living on a fucking mattress on the floor and a fucking shitty like no wallpaper on the walls. Like he'd put posters up from like Kerrang or whatever metal magazine we had at the time. Meanwhile, you go into his fucking the grandkid's room, and he's got a fucking brand new fucking hi-fi, a big fucking screen TV. He's got everything. And Michael was like, he looked like a fucking greyhound, He was like fucking thin. You could always see his ribs poking through. Pale as fuck. And anyway, like, they weren't even feeding him properly. I was like, have you eaten a day? And he'd be like, oh, yeah. They gave me a tin of beans earlier. You're like, fucking hell, man. You know what I mean? It was real bad. And anyway, like, I said to my mother, like, this is at a time when I was living in the shed, funnily enough. I was in your situation. I said, like, can Michael fucking just come and stay in the outhouse with me too? This is after my mother had kicked me out, and I'd lived with my godmother for a while, and I ended up coming back home. So anyway, she was like, I don't care, I just don't want to see either of you, So all right, fine. So we were like living in this fucking thing, me and him. And then anyway, my mother fucking came down to the outhouse and was fucking furious because like one of my brother's video games had gone fucking missing. And I was like, oh, he just must have misplaced it, man. She's like, nah, it's that fucking junkie, he stole it. And I was like, there's no fucking way. There's no way Michael would do that after all the fucking kindness we showed him. And obviously he had, because the fucking drugs had got its hooks into him. And then he couldn't stay with me. And I was like, oh, Mike, man, you fucking stole off my brother. That's fucking rough, That's really killing this fucking friendship a little bit. And he was like crying and saying how ashamed he was, But after that, we sort of just drifted apart. Now, the other thing was he always wanted to be a writer like me, because I was always writing as a kid. And we grew apart. I went to uni. I came back one Christmas, and I saw this guy homeless on a fucking street corner in Middlesbrough, and it was him. And I was like, oh, Mike, man, I haven't fucking seen you in years. What you doing out here, And he just wouldn't look at me, and he was going, I'm not called Mike, mate. I'm going, Mike, man, it's me. It's Rich, It's me. It's your boy, like. Forget all that shit, man. That was, like, old school stuff. And I went away, and he'd been, looked up what had happened. He'd been in prison for a little bit. He got pinched for fucking drug possession. But he wouldn't. I was like, come on, I'll buy you lunch, man. Come on. And he just wouldn't. He couldn't look at me. He kept saying, I'm not called Michael. You got the wrong guy. Please leave me alone. 100% it was him,
Yeah.
And anyway, I was like, well, fuck it. I tried, So anyway, when I graduated, I thought, fuck it, I'll look him up. I'll look him up and I'll go find him and track him down, And I was Googling his name. I couldn't find a Facebook. I couldn't find anything, But there was just one thing, and it was a news report. And apparently he got off the streets and got into like one of those like sheltered accommodation in Middlesbrough. And, like this is years ago now, but I found out years after the fact, but he like drank himself to death. And they just found him in this Spartan, like Middlesbrough apartment surrounded with empty bottles and poems that he'd wrote.
Shit.
Just unreal. So,
That's such a fucking... Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, like, I carry a lot of weight about that. I can actually hang on, just in case people think that's like one of those stories that sounds like too unreal to be true. Let me see if I can just get the report. Yeah, here it is. 2009 Teesside Gazette. There you go. That's how I found out. So there. Cheery stream. Saturday morning. Take me to the edge. All my friends are dead. There you go.
Well, if we start with the lows, throughout the day, we'll work into the highs. And that, that's just how it goes, really.
Could be worse. Could be playing on G2. He's brought it back, boys. He's brought it back. Comedy.
All Counter-Strike, all action, all here on the Richard Lewis Show.
But yeah, man. There was a generation of us that I was convinced I was next. I mean, you have to understand it was like Final Destination, you know. My mate Craig disappeared off the streets, allegedly because of gambling debt. They've never found him. There was a footballer who played for York I went to school with called Martin Garrett. He's dead. he died of, was it suicide or fucking drug overdose? Can't remember. But it's like, I was like, fucking hell. Like, why am I still here, you know? Best friend Chris obviously got killed in Iraq. You know, like, you start thinking to yourself, like, what the fuck's going, you know, what's going on, you know? Lost comedian Brody Stevens to suicide today. Did we? Fucking hell. Oh, well. None of us are getting out alive, buddy. Ugh. So anyway, Jacky, I liked how you tried to steer the stream back into a happy place about redemptive arcs. It is true that the average school bully does feel terrible about it when they become adults. I think you have to be a complete psychopath not to.
Surely, right? Because you've got to look back on what you've done. Because I think a lot of it is not understanding like the gravity of, because obviously to them, like it must stem from somewhere. Like obviously his was, he either had unknown or untreated sort of mental health issues, which you can't help that. Like, you know, as much as it was his fault what he was doing, it's not his fault that he was born with that affecting him. But it's just like, if you look back on it and you realize you fucked up, surely you're going to think, I have made someone else's life horrible as much as I have made mine tolerable.
Yeah, it is weird, man. The only thing I've ever fucking seen that's even akin to it, you know, when you hear all the stories like about the first day of prison, that's like high school, man. That's like fucking going to school. Like, you better get in a gang. Oh, yeah. you better get in. You know, you better get in the gang. Yeah, it's fucking crazy. Expect people to test you. It's like, holy shit, man.
Dude, I fucking hated it.
People are saying, not sure what your high school was like. Obviously, it wasn't great. Oh God, body, why are you like this? Oh, why are you like this, man?
Oh no.
Oh God.
Yeah, but that's the thing, right? You know what you just said there? Literally, my first day of school, I remember being chased around the fucking playground by a gang of kids, literally a fucking, like, a large collection, must have been like fucking 5-6 people, being chased around this fucking playground, so I got beaten a fuck. I had to go to the little, like, in-house infirmary or whatever, where the nurse was just like, oh yeah, you know, we're gonna have to send you home, like, he's all hurt, he's all fucking cut up. Yeah. Mum came and got me, took me home. That was my first day of school. I was probably there for like an hour. Shit's fucked. I did go to like the worst school in London though, so fuck it,
mate. Only the fucking strong survive. I fucking learnt that. Rugby was a godsend for me, man, because when you, like, once you start going out on a weekend for fun and just getting fucking speared into the ground for 80 fucking minutes, it was like, you know what? Actually, a few digs off some fucking chopsy kids doesn't bother me at all. Right, Shocks his stat padding. I like it. To be fair, he has gone mad, hasn't he? He's got 19 kills already.
Dude, he's literally the only one fucking stringing them along, giving them that extra bit of oomph.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep tabs on the Wales-England match. Official hazard. But obviously the No Majors Club must come first. It must come above even rugby. So... Fucking body, man. What a nightmare. I think the funniest. I mean, there's a ton of fucking shock stories that are funny. Obviously, everyone probably remembers the one about the fucking makeup lady at Gfinity, where he was sat talking to her, and he was getting made up in the chair before he went on stage, and he was talking to her, and I think she liked him. You know, she was like single, and I think she liked Shocks. This is like years ago. I think Shocks is obviously in a long-term relationship now. But he was sat in a chair, and she was like asking him questions, like just general stuff about the game. And like Shocks turned around and was like, "Have you ever been with another woman?" Like this. And fucking, she was like, "Oh well, no." And he was like, "No, you should try it. In France, it is normal to do this. You know, just being fucking not enough to just." Have the lady interested in you. He was immediately trying to push for the fucking threesome before they'd even agreed to go on a date. Like,
classic Shocks.
Yeah, classic Shocks, mate. No, it's normal. It's normal. It was fucking.
The thing is, though, as well, like he is literally a man of culture. He's the sort of person like when he was talking to us in Serbia, and he was like, no, like I want to write a poem for the lady. I want her to feel my love. Like he wants it to be very special. He's like a proper. It's all about the romance. You know what I mean? He's proper old school. He loves it.
I got this poem, Ménage à Trois. Me and you is good. Me and you plus one is better. Is normal. Richard Papillon, 2019. Yeah, he was a fucking G, man. There's probably a ton of stories I don't even fucking remember, just lost into the fucking fog of fucking abused and battered brain cells. But him and Smiths were the fucking coolest guys to fucking hang out with, dude.
They also had the weirdest one-to-one mix when they would drink fucking like vodka Coke or vodka anything, where it was just majority vodka. Like the mixer was the fucking vodka at that point for the most part.
Mate, everyone knows about the Shoxy Red Bull. Everyone knows about the Shoxy Red Bull. That is no fucking... That is absolutely unreal. And it's true as well. I have seen it. Like, I've seen fucking Shocks when he goes out drinking, man. Like, he can stick a bottle of red wine away like it's just nothing.
He just inhales it. It just gets sucked up.
Do you remember in fucking Serbia when we were having those drinks? Like, yeah, that was fucking crazy. What's a Shoxy Red Bull? A Shoxy Red Bull is literally, right? You take like a half pint glass practically, you know, one of them big fucking tall drinks that you get cocktails in. You fill it up like 5/6 of the way to the top, and you put a dash of Red Bull in it. Like, that is literally a Shoxy Red Bull. It's insane.
Thing I remember from Serbia that night was when we were all getting pissed. It was the same night when Bardov basically died. Do you remember Kai and I went back to his room, and I was still drinking with you and Scoots and stuff?
Yeah.
and I was absolutely fucking bladdered. Like, I was wrecked out my mind. Because we started off the night when... Was it Mo that walked over, like a tray of absinthe? Because someone brought us like a load of absinthe shots. I think it was Mo. And like,
yeah, it might have been Mo. I remember me and Mo were drinking at some point, like fucking hell, yeah.
Yeah, because I think it was then. He came over with some absinthe, and that just, like, got worse and worse. We were fucking wrecked. And I remember it got to the end of the night, and you were like, right, let's go to bed then. And I've just looked and gone, Rich, I don't know where my room is. Kai and I's in bed. He had the only room key. And I just sort of looked at him, and you went, it'll be all right, Jacky. Come with me. I've woke up that night on the bathroom floor in your hotel room to Duncan stepping over me, and I was just like, what the fuck is going on?
See? Richard always comes through. The ultimate wingman. Molested you, of course. I'm kidding.
I was naked as well.
Yeah. But, you know.
That's where that fucking there's that picture of you kissing me on the head that night as well.
Worrying in it. Fortunately for you, my penis hasn't worked for years, mate. So, completely safe.
Not after that night.
Yeah. It's just sad.
That was a good one. That was a good night, dude. That was funny.
Yeah, nah, that was a good one, man. Yeah, there was a lot of old school dudes there. That's what made that. I mean, fuck, I saw somebody in the chat ask me, like, did I like Serbia? Yeah, I fucking love Serbia. I said it on the stream the other day. I think I could be a fucking model in Serbia, dude. You know, there's some fucking guys that are definitely throwbacks out there. And all the women are fucking beautiful. And the people are fucking super nice.
Man, that was the thing that, like, people, like, a lot of people fucking didn't get with those TWC tournaments. Nothing that had any issues to do with the tournament was the country or the production team or anything. Like, they were all sound as fuck. The Serbian people and, like, Serbia itself was genuinely sick. Like, the country was great. Everyone was super friendly. Like, everything was lovely when we were there. It was just the organizer, like, and Avela just being an absolute mentalist.
Yeah. I mean, that was the other good thing as well, like Yanko. I mean, still, man, one of the funniest things I ever fucking saw. Oh, who was it who got with this? Fuck, I can't even remember now.
Wait, what is it?
Who got fucked with the fucking fake ATM?
Oh, fuck, I don't know, because I remember hearing this story from Neil M, but I don't know who it happened to.
Oh, shit, I can't remember. Yeah, we all went to that nightclub Yanko recommended. Oh, it was DDK, that was it. So fucking we all Yanko said, "Oh, I know this like underground nightclub, like it's like only Serbians go there." And we all went out there in the fucking middle of the night when we were fucking wrecked. Anyway, there's this fucking guy outside again. Looks like one of the cave trolls from Lord of the Rings, but he's carrying a gun. So imagine that, right? A cave troll with a fucking sidearm. Right, and he was just stood outside this square, like, industrial building with all the windows fucking blacked out. Right, and just next to it was an ATM, and they were like, it's a cash-only bar, so you got to get some fucking money before you come in, you know. So people were queuing up and using the ATM. DDK gets to the front, and he puts his fucking card in, and he puts his pin in, like, beep, 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 beep. And then it just sort of goes to, like, bloop, it just blips out, and it's not an ATM anymore, and it's just somebody's desktop, right? Just like a Windows desktop with a recycle bin and everything, and you can just see a mouse moving, and then it just like it just turned off, right? And DDK just went, right, well, I think I've just been robbed, guys. I think I've just been robbed, guys. I was making laughing about, oh man, I was so buckled that day, like I just couldn't do anything. I was like, yeah, you have, like you've just been fucking wrecked right there, like. And the bad thing is, like, loads of people used it before him. Fine, DDK steps up. Right, I think I will just withdraw £200 in Serbian money. Beep, 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 beep. But, like, it was just the way the cursor was moving on the screen. And then it just, like, clicked off. It was fucking hilarious, man. Could only happen to DDK.
Dude, Serbian nightclubs are literally something on a different plane of existence. So I went back there the year after as well, right? I did that following TWC in 2016. That one, it was like me, Scrawny, like Sonny, the big fucking tall cunt from the UK Herald, right? Oh yeah. So me and him were a duo when we went. Yeah. And we're there, and there was a guy at the time who was working at EFRAG called Georgie Georgiev, who was like their main host. And EFRAG went, oh yeah, we've arranged you an after party. It'll be sick, like it'll be, it'll be great. Here's the address. Go down there. You'll have a great time. We get there. Them arranging an after party was they gave us the address of a shisha bar. That was all they had done that year. That is literally like that was all they did. We get there, so we're drinking away, and we're like, all right, what the fuck? Like, are we still paying for this? And the guy's like, yeah, what do you mean? You just walked in. You just, like, he was just like, yeah. So, oh, okay, we figured it out. Georgie Georgiev comes in, because all like the French players were just like, what the fuck's going on? I think it was Nyack who was like, is there somewhere actually good we can go? Like, we don't want to be here. And Georgie Georgiev goes, hey, I'll sort you out, boys. Like, I'm from here. I'll show you Serbia. 15 taxis pull up outside, like one after the other. Everyone's just bundling to these taxis. It was me, Harold, and like 3 of the fucking Turkish guys. I think it was Major, Zantares, and someone else, right?
Yeah.
It might have been Paz, I'm not sure. And we get outside this club. Bear in mind, before we get in, Georgie Georgiev like puts his hand on my shoulder and just goes, by the way, when you get there, do not try and go in the club. Tell no one to go in until I get there. You have to wait for me. And I'm just like, all right, sound. We get out. Zantares and stuff are there. Major's like, oh, I think it was Major. He's like, oh, can we go in? They're all getting a bit impatient. I was like, I wouldn't risk it. Like, he's literally told us, specifically do not try and go in until he gets here. Georgie Georgiev arrives like 20 minutes later. This whole group, about 50 CS players, walks up to the doors. 2 massive bouncers out front. Literally an airport fucking like metal detector on the front door. And we're like, all right, what the fuck? Tom Green was with us, who was like a radio host they had hired as well to be their desk host.
Yeah.
In the meantime, he's taken his belt off and wrapped it around his hands. He didn't want his belt on for some reason. Serbian guy just looks at him. Tom goes, I've got my belt. Is this all right? Serbian guy takes it, stretches it out, slaps it on his hand, like cracks it, and just goes, duh, and gives it back. And we're like, what the fuck? We all go through this metal detector. Fucking dark, like, ass little hallway you walk through. Very, very tiny elevator. Now, I reckon we went up. Harold believes that we went down in this elevator. And it said maximum 3 persons with about 6 exclamation marks on it. We get in, someone else jumps into the fucking lift, and this screeching alarm goes off, just going, brrr! This Serbian guy opens this door, grabs the fucking guy that just jumped in, lifts him out, shuts the door, and like the elevator starts going, right? We get in this club that literally, the bar was basically like, like a plus symbol, right? That was the bar, and it spanned pretty much the entirety of the whole fucking place. However, you obviously had like the 4 little squares on the alcove of it. One of those squares was the DJ booth.
Right.
It's Serbia, so you could smoke anywhere. So everyone's just smoking in this room with no windows, no lights apart from the bar. You go over to buy a drink, right? You get there, you ordered what you wanted, and we were like, all right, like, we'll take this. We expected change. Yeah. They gave us 16 shots, and we went, no, where's our change? And the woman just goes, no change, only shots.
No change, only shots.
So you didn't get any, you wouldn't make any money back from what you bought, right? You got no change. You just got whatever that was equivalent to, roughly, in random shots. And it was just like, what the fuck is this? It was absolutely mental, but everyone was just fucking steaming. Georgie Georgiev was losing his mind. Like, Scrawny was loving it. Harold was living his movie. Tom Green nearly died because he had to get his flight home that night. It was just literally scenes. I have no idea what the fuck that place was, but it was just ridiculous. It was the weirdest club I've ever been to. Bear in mind as well, when we walked in, they played this one track, right? That was just like this. I've never found it since, but it was going Saturday night in the club, Friday night in the club, Tuesday night in the club, Monday night in the club, Wednesday night, I'm tired, I don't want to go to the club, Thursday night, I'm back in the club. That was the song. Literally, that was the song. And it just looped. It just looped, bud, every time. And that's just booming with the loudest bass I've ever heard. So we're walking into just, I don't want to go to the club. Friday night, back in the club. Mental. It was fucking mental.
Someone even, off that description, someone claims they've even got the bar. Apparently it's called the Stefan Braun or something.
Really?
Yeah. Somebody in the chat said sounds like Stefan Braun. Obviously been there, like.
Well, I don't know.
I guess he's been back in the club, mate.
Literally, the thing is, if anyone knows what the fuck that song is, link it to me, because I've never seen it.
Back in the club.
Literally.
Wednesday night, bit tired, didn't go to the club, but Thursday night, I'm back in the club. I like it, man. I think it's growing on me. I've never even heard it.
Someone's linked it. Is this it? This is it. This is the fucking song.
Right, let me play this on stream. I've got to fucking hear this song, dude.
This with the loudest bass ever in this smoky room. It was mental.
I'm fucking digging this, dog.
Literally, buddy. It only just started as we walked in as well. So we were just like, what the fuck?
Let's fucking crank this, dude. This is sick.
Mate, it's madness though, isn't it?
Yeah, but she has a headache. But she still goes to the club.
I had a fucking headache in that club.
Oh, what happens on Sunday? Oh, she went to the club again on a Sunday. Fucking hell, she did it, mate. She fucking let it dangle a little bit there, though. I didn't know if she was actually going to go to the club or not, but she did. What a fucking twist. M. Night Shyamalan, eat your fucking heart out, mate. I'll pause that now.
It's such a weird one, though. Like, it was one of those places, you know, where you're like, I knew all of it was fucking real the next morning when we woke up, but it was like, what the fuck? Like, where was this place with a fucking, literally an airport metal detector at the front as you walk through? These two big bastards just like, duh, come in.
Yeah, man, fucking Serbia was great. I mean, Belgrade's a hell of a fucking beautiful city as well, but like, you know what? I love cities like that have like you know, the seedy underbelly, you know, if you know where you're going and stuff. Yeah. I love that shit.
That's what I mean. As long as you've got like a tour guide from Serbia,
yeah,
like fuck it, I'll go anywhere. Because it feels like, dude, because like he thought it was just normal anyway. He was like, oh yeah, this is just like classic.
It's normal.
You know, this is yeah, this is Saturday night in the club every night. There you go. That was fucking Serbia 2016. That was a weird year.
What did you do? Did you go to the club?
Saturday night in the club. Every night in the fucking club.
As if Manakino says, I'm afraid to go to those places after watching that movie Hostel. Here's the funny thing about that movie Hostel, right? It's set in fucking Bratislava in Slovakia, right? And there's just no fucking, like, it's that place is just one of the nicest places on earth. Like, I went there in the fucking, shit, was it the late 90s? And it was great. And let me tell you, I went there with my mate Leroy. And just saying, he was in fucking hog's heaven, man. He was fucking loving it, dude. So yeah, you're not getting hostiled. And that's what makes it so absurd that in Bratislava there's any, like, special hostels designed to killing tourists. Like, no. Like, when we went, it was, I don't even know, it was like fucking 30 pence for a pint of beer or something. It was wild. It was wild. 30 pence for a pint of beer, 60 pence for a pack of cigarettes. You know, 30 pence a shot. It was fucking crazy. It was like, it was cheap as fuck.
Well, that's the other mad thing as well, though, right? Because that was the thing with Serbia. So when we were in there, obviously, you'd fucking buy drinks, but they were so cheap. Like, you paid like nothing. So you were just fucking wrecked because obviously you'd buy something, you'd give them like a couple of notes, and you get about 60 shots back on the bar that they just put on the bar. I've never seen that before, though. The idea that you just get shots as change.
Yeah, I've seen that too as well, Blazo. Like, I've been to Prague quite a bit, and like it's in some bars it's like cheaper to buy. There's like cheaper beer than there is bottled water. It's like, Prague's a fucking good one. They're doing aren't they doing a UFC event out there? Pretty sure they're doing a UFC event in Prague. I think that's going to be fucking crazy. That is going to be mental. Is it tonight? The fucking fans, like, Jesus Christ. It is like the fucking stag do capital of the fucking world. So that'll be fucking Sunday night. I went to the club.
Tuesday night. I've got a headache, but I still went to the club.
She did, mate. She still went to the club. Headache's not stopping her, like.
Okay. I'm so glad someone's found that, because it was such a weird song that's just been in my memory for all these years.
She didn't want to go, but I think she still went. That's the key. That's the key thing. We've all been there, mate. Sometimes you can't face a night out. Oh. Okay, let's close this out with a great clutch X7. All right, maybe not.
If you won that one, it would have been more like X22.
Not bad. Good show, Jacky. Huh? Oh, bing. Someone texted you. That joke was terrible.
What a bastard.
Yeah. Bing.
That's SEO. The material sucks.
Ask him if he's going to the club.
Mate, he's working Fortnite. Of course he is. They love a dance.
Good old SEO. Well, actually, no, I didn't go to the club because I had to stay home and configure some servers, actually. So
I was actually writing articles for Cadrid, I'll have you know.
Wednesday night, I had a headache, but I still configured the servers correctly. That's SEO, son.
That's Ben's, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Monday night on the deathmatch. Tuesday night on the deathmatch. Wednesday night, we've got practice. I've got a headache, but we still practice.
And yes, Vince, this is G2's pick. You can always jump on the Discord if you're at a loose end, Vince. You don't have to, of course. I'm sure you're getting prepped for another busy day.
Someone asked if I'm going to be in Katowice for the female tournament. Yeah, I will be. Yeah.
Yeah, you've announced that now. Yeah. You know what's funny? I've been to Slovakia, never Slovenia. Isn't that weird? Neighboring countries. Oh, here he is. Vince in his house.
All right.
How you doing?
Yeah, not bad. I've got the third best of 3 today, so it's a nice chill day.
Do you want to go? Do you want to go to the club?
Fuck that. That sounded grim, man.
The thing is, at the time, it was unreal. It's such a good night out. It was weird though. It was quite scary.
What's the grimmest club you ever been to, Vince?
Probably one of the clubs. Like the thing is that because I used to work in them as security.
Yeah.
Now I just don't want anywhere near them ever again. There was a place I worked at called Love Shack. That's all you need to know. And the floor was like, literally, it felt like you were walking through quicksand. It was that sticky. It was just disgusting and absolutely fucking vile. Yeah, in Durham.
There was a place in Stockton. What was it called now? Visage. And I used to know this mad cunt called Edgar. He was like one of them people who doesn't feel like they're from real life. I barely knew him, but we used to hang out with him, and because we could sleep on his floor over in Stockton when we got fucked up in Visage. And he had a catchphrase. Whenever he was excited about stuff, he'd say, "My beans are bubbling, man. My beans are bubbling." Brilliant. Like he was a fucking idiot, you know. And anyway, we used to fucking go over to fucking Visage. I don't know what it's called now, like, but anyway, it was insane. It was like £1. You could get a pint of Hofmeister for £1. Which is like piss, by the way, and you can get a shot of like vodka or like Jameson's for £1 as well, like. And it was just you know, £1 a pint. Let's all have a fight. It was mental. It was horrible. And then of course there was what was the one in Middlesbrough where you go down the stairs? They've closed it now. Closed it years ago. Can't fucking remember it now. But they literally used to run a promotion in there called Grab a Granny. This is true. Fuck, I can't remember the name of the place. But basically, there was one night where if you could show your ID and prove you were over 40 years old, you got like cheaper drinks. You got like complimentary drinks, and all the young lads used to go down there. And you know, you could. You know, to see all the older ladies that were, you know, maybe in a divorce looking for You know, some young guys, and it was literally on the flyers, like grab a granny night. I can't remember the name of the bar. It wasn't the Bongo. It wasn't the Bongo. I got wrecked in the Bongo one night. I thought I was right in there with this good-looking bird, and then a pimp came over and said he was going to kill me if I didn't give him £500. I haven't been back to the Bongo. Oh, Christ. Middlesbrough's a fucking nightmare, man. We're having real good vibe talking all night. There was no clue. There was no clue. And then this big guy just sidled up next to me. I went, "You've been talking all night. You better be fucking paying now." What? What's it to you, mate? I'm a fucking pimp, like. All right, I see how this is. "Sir, I am going to get your money right now. I will be going to a cash point and returning post haste." Ran out the Bongo. What? 1-0. Richard 1, Pimps 0. Get fucked. What was the name of that fucking place? The Madison. Was it? Was it the Madison? Does that ring a bell to anyone who lives in Middlesbrough? Oh, look. Someone's even posted in Gazette Live. Remember Grab a Granny Night. See? I don't make these things up, guys. My life's just a fucking... There it is. Remember?
Look at the fucking flyer.
Yo, I told you, man. Grab a fucking granny. Tuesdays are back. Yeah, the keys. It's the fucking keys, mate. It was real. I don't make this shit up. Look at this fucking flyer. It's outrageous, guys. Fuck your overtime. This is literally how they were marketing. Come to our... Oh, fucking hell, I've wrecked that. Put that back in the centre, shall we? There we go. Look at the fucking state of it, mate. Look at the fucking state of that.
There you go. There's the new graphic for everyone to Photoshop.
It's unreal, isn't it?
That is mad, to be fair. What a fucking promotion.
Like, I know I've got, like, just a fucking, like, plethora of insane stories, and people are like, Richard's full of shit, but he tells a good story. This is all real. Like, this is my life. It's all fucking real. Like, I wish it wasn't. Christ knows I wish I hadn't lived the life I lived, but I have. Fucking hell. Good find. Gift that man a sub, whoever found that link. Fucking grab a granny. Jesus Christ.
Grab a granny.
My life is a mess. My life is definitely a mess. I don't dispute it. I'd love to just, like, be able to download all of my memories on, like, a fucking hard drive, and people could just upload it and experience it subjectively, like
in VR.
Yeah, mate. I'm telling you, it'd be bonkers, like.
Oh, mate, I'd go back to like that fucking club in VR. That would just be mental.
Yeah.
Tuesday night. My head hurt, but I still grabbed a granny. Granny, please.
Grab a granny. Fuck me, dude. It's like a different time. It's like a fucking time capsule, man. You couldn't say that now. It's so fucking crazy. It is so crazy.
Oh, Rich, I found another one that I worked in that was fucking horrible. I'll send you the link. It actually got closed.
Oh, what was that like?
It's called Clute in Durham. Yeah. Unreal, isn't it?
Clute. Oh, why not just call it Clunge and just be done with it? Like, oh, mate. Oh, banter. Fucking hell, show me this. Like, oh, mate. You put it in. Oh, no, here it is. I got you. Durham club branded worst in Europe. told it must water down its iconic quaddie drink. What the fuck's a quaddie? I can probably guess what a quaddie is. Is it 4 shots? Let's have a read. Representatives from Clute in Durham were hauled before Durham County Council's licensing committee after police raised concerns regarding the ongoing sale of quaddies, 2 double measures of vodka served with a mixer, despite repeated pleas from police to review the sale. The student favourite will be watered down with 22% measures of vodka, replacing 40% measures of vodka, which will almost halve its alcohol content from more than 4 units of alcohol to just over 2 units. I mean, I remember that being the thing. You could only get up to a triple, couldn't you? And they were like, we can't serve you 4 shots in a single sitting. I do remember that being a rule in the UK. Fucking quaddies, mate.
That place was a proper shit pit, though. It was horrible.
How sticky was the floor there, Vince?
Well, just off the name alone, you probably can guess.
Sticky with fucking blood, like.
Probably, yeah. Fuck, you know.
It's like, man, whenever I'm in Birmingham, I always fucking hit up Island Bar and they sell this fucking drink called Zombie. And it's like a shot of absinthe poured into like a jam jar full of rum. And then like it's topped off with just a little bit of fruit juice, and it's got like half a fucking passion fruit in it in top, right? They blowtorch the absinthe and you fucking, and they say like, oh, we'll only serve you like 3 zombies max a night, like, you know. I've been in many a state, like many a state in Island Bar.
Fucking G2, man.
You got G2 to win this?
Nah, I don't care which team wins because I don't have either of my pick'ems, but I probably would have went with Ence.
Ever had gorilla farts? I mean, I don't know, mate. I don't know what that is. I don't know if I want to know what that is. Gorilla farts. Please explain what a gorilla fart is. Pancakes.
As if, by the way, when that Clute bar was still open, they were advertising that it was the worst bar in Europe outside to try and get traction. That's fucking unreal.
Mate, you got to embrace it. Recently voted the fucking worst bar in Europe. Like, you come in for a quaddie. Oh, mate, people in the northeast just don't give a fuck. What else can be done to us, you know?
That was the unreal thing, though, because Durham's actually a very pretty sort of small city.
Yeah,
town, I guess. And yet you go into that club and it's like you've gone back in time 300 years. Just everyone's a kid. No caveman, well, further than 300 years, but you get the point.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's also got one of the hardest maximum security prisons.
Yeah.
That's where my dad served most of his time. So I'm familiar with Durham. Come on, Alexei. Oh, you've got it, mate. Get fucked. Yeah, it's a really weird juxtaposition because you've got Durham, which is widely regarded as the 3rd best university. You got fucking this mad maximum security prison. You've got like the scenic sort of, you know, cathedral. And all these like old nice little quaint buildings and tea shops and stuff, and then you go out to certain fucking clubs and that, and it's an absolute sewer. I never understood it. Never understood it, man.
Then you travel like 5 miles away from Durham, and you've got these proper, just horrible places like Sacriston and oh gee.
Yeah, there's some rough old places in that neck of the woods. Does anything beat Middlesbrough though? Like honestly, yeah, you guys.
No.
Like I said, Stockton on Tees is pretty bad, but isn't that getting all gentrified now? I mean, shit, man, I ain't been back there for at least 10 years. I heard that's all getting done up now. But Middlesbrough is just a fucking absolute fucking shit pit. Like, people say Thornaby's worse. I used to rock with the fucking Fairburns from Thornaby. You can Google them, so I know. My mate Robbie got fucking shot in the Golden Eagle in Thornaby. Just some shitty little replica. Still, like, turns out they hurt. So,
Still a shot, of course.
yeah, converted replicas still fuck you up real bad, like. There we go.
It's one in the bag.
That's one in the bag. I thought they'd done up Grange Town now. It used to be bad. Same as Winnie Banks. Everyone used to call Winnie Banks Winnie Bronx. Used to pick up weed from fucking Winnie Banks. That was always fun. Literally house after house after house of just fucking fat men in vests with just angry, starving dogs in their garden looking at you. Are you fucking busy, like? Are you fucking busy? I mean, are you a police officer? No, I promise you I am just here to buy some weed from one of your neighbours, good sir. Sound like you're fucking busy to me, like, with that fucking posh talk, like. Fucking set the dogs on you, you daft cunt. No. I am just contributing to your black market economy, sir. Please. Yeah. Good times. But again, they did at Winnie Banks. It's all nice houses over there now. I thought they did the same to Grangetown. They definitely did the same to South Bank, I thought it was. But whatever. Say, look, been waiting 10 minutes to post this, but why the fuck have I been in the ESL channel and not in here? I don't know, mate. This is where all the real shit kicks off. We go up, we go down. Sometimes it's dark, sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's mental. Mostly Jacky.
Yeah. It's a wide spectrum of conversation.
Right, Cardiff, lad. Fuck Cardiff. Ain't even proper Wales, is it? Shit, that's interesting. Yeah, whatever happened to all them Bridgend fucking suicides? They made a movie about it, didn't they? It was like something out of like a Japanese horror movie or whatever, you know. Fucking Ring. Of course I've been to fucking Wynn Street, man. Been to York too. Been all over the UK, mate. It's only small, isn't it? Yeah, been down to Bristol. Been to Nottingham. Is Cardiff crap? Mate, I don't know what to tell you, like. You only go there because it's got the fucking stadiums. I went on rugby tour over in Ireland, and we did Dublin and Galway. I'm from Galway, to be sure. They're a fucking bunch of hicks out there, like. Good rugby players, though. They fucking lost every game. Lost every game, of course.
What position did you play in rugby, Rich?
So I started out at number 8 when I was a youth, but then I just got moved to flanker because I didn't have the size for a number 8. I played second row for a while as well because I shot up in height, so comparative to everybody else, I was like pretty tall, but then like I just didn't get any bigger. So we had like you need to be like 6'5" really to be a second row. I'd say minimum. And it certainly height and shoulders definitely don't hurt if you're a number 8. So I used to play blindside flanker. So, mate, I'm still not heavy enough to be a prop. Like, unfortunately, I'm only like 245, 240, something like that.
Props are the thick boys.
Yeah, you gotta be way, you gotta have way more weight than that for a prop league.
Someone asked how tall is Rich. You're like 6 foot, right? 6'1",
Yeah,
maybe?
pretty bang on 6. Pretty bang on 6, I think. Although as you get older and you know your spine decompresses, I might have shrank a little bit and gone to like 5'11" or something now. But pretty sure I'm still 6. Yeah, 240 pounds, obviously. Not 240 kilograms, which I believe would make me what, like 500 pounds or something, or 400 pounds or something. Not that. Yeah, 240 tons, just solid girth. Thanks a lot. I stay up until the early hours every night to watch the streams. I'm currently in Melbourne, but from Manchester. The show gives me plenty of belly laughs, makes my night. I love what you're doing for Maria too, and want to contribute. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it, mate. It's good on you. How do I think Blizzard will deal with Robert Kraft getting arrested? Have you ever seen a dusty room with dust all over the floor? And it's like, it's just too much to fucking, it's an unassailable task to clean it. But you need to clean it real quick because you got guests coming over. Fortunately for you, you have a large ornate rug in that living room. And with just a little bit of lifting and a little bit of sweeping, everything can go away. Thanks a lot, Rekovic on Steam. Really appreciate the 5 tier 1 subs. Very generous of you, obviously. Long-term patron of the channel and supports by the numbers as well. Shout out. The funny thing is, it explicitly says in the Overwatch, what's it called, code of conduct, explicitly says it applies to owners as well as players. It's like players, owners, players, coaches, owners are all bound by it. So if a player had been charged with solicitation, I imagine he would be dropped from the league, right? So I wonder what happens to Big Bobby Kraft.
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, nout. The thing is, as well, though, people are saying, oh, they'll give him a joke 10K fine. They can't, because then it's on record that the appropriate punishment for a player or anyone in the league getting caught soliciting prostitutes is a slap on the wrist. How do you say that? Especially when, here's another component about the case people aren't talking about. Listen, what consenting adults do, right? What consenting adults do, I don't give a fuck. I want prostitution to be legal. I'll tell you, I've been around, obviously living in Middlesbrough. I used to know a guy who used to work in, Vice out there. It's the illegality of that trade that brings a lot of the problems to it. And in places where it's legalized, the prostitutes have a better standard of care, better standard of living, There's all social programs for it because they're contributing to taxes because it's not in the black economy. So it makes sense, right? So what consenting adults do, I don't give a fuck about. And I think the antiquated attitudes towards sex and that stuff are really dumb and actually harm the fabric of society. Here's where the other component is that people are not talking about. It wasn't just a standard prostitution sting. It is linked to human trafficking. So consent immediately goes out the window if that's accurate. Now, how are you ever going to talk about women's rights if somebody that's benefiting from human trafficking, allegedly, is part of your fucking business partners, allegedly? You explain that to me. So, just saying. Oh, but hey, Trace is gay. So it's all good. You know, just turn a blind eye, walk on by. It's all good. No need to actually employ those morals where money's at stake. But what do I know? You know, fuck it. I'm old-fashioned like that. I think principles should be applied universally. I'm old-fashioned. I mean, you know, obviously everybody in this day and age selectively applies principles. What else are you gonna do? Will Carrigan come on for the Phase Complexity game? I haven't heard him, but I will DM him. It'd be nice to get him on. But, yeah, I mean, you know, there's no way they can issue a fine. There's no way they can issue a penalty in the league. There's no way the league can even recognize it. Because once they do, I mean, guys, like, real talk. What about that Dreamcasper shit? Weird, isn't it? Never been any follow-ups on that story. Isn't that strange? I mean, shit, if I didn't know better, I would say there was some sort of weird simpatico relationship going on between a lot of these journalists and this big corporation that gives breadcrumbs of content to journalists. I mean, again, I don't want to get into wild conspiracy theories, but it seems to me that following a story from beginning to end would be something a journalist does, and we have no idea what the penalties for Dreamcasper were, except you ain't going to see him in the Overwatch League ever again. But, yeah, just how deep does that rabbit hole go, folks? Who knows? No one cares. It's all allegedly. It's fine. He's back again playing under a Smurf, is he? I mean, fuck, man. Some people don't know when to stay gone, do they? Do the Overwatch League and NFL actually have to do anything until Robert Kraft is found guilty? I'm pretty sure that even being arrested or charged or being part of an investigation, anything tangential to that, it will probably be covered by, they always have clauses in any contract, morality clauses, I guess you'd call them, where if you do anything or are accused of doing anything or are thought to have done anything that can bring the league into disrepute, you know, I mean, fuck, man, they fucked Ezekiel Elliott over with no fucking formal evidence and stood by it. Did the same to Tom Brady. Somehow I think the Crafts will skate, though. He's one of the most powerful fucking owners in the league. I mean, shit, man. Nobody would have bought into the Overwatch League if Robert Kraft wasn't out there preaching the evangelical. I mean, him and Bobby Kotick will literally go into people like, nah, this is definitely the next big thing, bigger than the NFL. It's hilarious. I get texts from owners saying we don't understand why the viewership isn't fluctuating for different teams. We don't get it. Not to mention, I looked at it the other day on Twinge. Let me can I bring this up? Yeah, let's do that. You know, people are telling me I'm mad, right? That the viewership isn't declining. You're wrong, Richard. The viewership's up. The viewership's up. Okay, well, explain this to me then. Just explain it to me. You go here, you can check this out for yourself. Show you I'm not. I don't know how Twinge will cope with XSplit. It could be rough. Let's see. Let's see. Might be very rough indeed. Might not come up at all, honestly. Yeah, it's not gonna. Of course it isn't. Try it again. Thanks for the Twitch Prime there. Not ignoring anyone that's donated or anything like that. Yeah, whatever. Right, anyway, if you go to Twinge, you'll see on... When did it relaunch? Was it Friday? Or Thursday? Was it Valentine's Day it came back? I can't remember. Well, anyway. The first launch day, the 14th. Okay, let's do it then. I'm gonna give you the exact numbers. It might take a while to bring up. Yeah, you're right. Twinge is having a strugs. That's a good one, Pike. Appreciate it. Right. So, according to this, yeah, Twinge is having a nightmare at the moment, guys. I'll be able to give you the exact numbers. Basically, all you need to know is on day one of the relaunch of the league, it got up to, like, I don't know, 250, 240. Then by the weekend, it was down to 227. And then yesterday, it was, or the day before, it was like 161,000 peak. So it just keeps, you know, this is the relaunch of the season with all these newly added fucking teams. And it's going to keep going down. Thanks for the $2 there. Stop talking shit about the Overwatch League. It has a lot of fans. There are literally dozens of us. Yeah, I know. I don't think it'll go sub 100k. I think if it went sub 100k before the end of the season, that'd be an absolute disaster. I think it'll hover about 100, 120. I think that's its natural audience, dude. And they're not doing anything to big it up, man, because, you know, all those viewing parties that they're setting up, they're not new fans. They're you know, you get a handful of, like, maybe one or two new people come along, you know. It went to 60k before, did it? I don't know. But I think when we're talking averages, I think it's going to hover around about 100, 120k. And I just think the season structure's bad, and it's long, and it's boring, and, you know. Right. Oh, wait there. Let's get on body cam. I want to see body on a rotate here. What's he going to do? He's having a look at a place that he knows he's got a teammate, and... yeah. Okay. Okay, buddy. Yep, that's nice. Have a spam. Okay. One window. Yep. And wrecked, of course. Nice. And Ence are up and running, boys. We'll have a nice fucking 2-0 to start the fucking day off.
Come on, Ence. Shut it down.
Yeah, I just got linked something as well. Hang on, what's this? Ooh. Wait, what is this story? Oh, God. Oh, my God. What is this shit? Oh. Did I miss something there? Sorry, guys. I'm just reading this article about that over on VP Esports about something that happened here. So, I don't think the Crafts are going to be too happy about this story that happened here. You see what happened with Fusions, the player. He was deemed ineligible to play minutes before his game because he had signed a two-way contract, a contract structure the league had introduced for Season 2 in order to allow players the option of playing in Contenders and Overwatch League in the same season. Jesus Christ, what a shit show. What a fucking shit show. What a fucking shit show that is. Overwatch League requires teams to submit their rosters hours in advance. Sources told VP Esports that Bosworth was still expecting to play mere minutes before the official match was set to start. Why Bosworth's ineligibility wasn't pointed out upon roster submission is not known at this point.
Sorry?
Fuck off. What a fucking actual crock of shit this league is, dude. Oh, God. Fucking grow up.
Thing is, I don't think people actually care about it, like, as a league either. People just watch it. It's literally like a chapter on both sides. People watch the very first bit and they watch the end. They watch the finals. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, no one cares about the whole fucking middle portion of the league. It'd be interesting to see how many people would actually tune in as well if they weren't just slapping it on Battle.net and letting the fucking, like, everyone in the world apparently watch it, where it's just on the fucking client.
Thanks for the Twitch Prime, Tom Vickery 585. Oh, and thanks for the $10.69. Appreciate your work. 15 Aussie dollars translates to something tangible. It does. Thank you very much, brother. Appreciate it. But, yeah, man, I mean, like I say, I just have Battle.net fucking turned off now. You're not getting a free fucking view out of me, motherfuckers. It's really funny as well because I did 2 interviews for Deserto. I interviewed Steve Ardenset, from obviously the guy from Team Liquid, and they chose not to invest in the Overwatch League, right? And he was being very diplomatic and saying, oh, you know, we looked at the numbers and we looked at what they were doing and it just didn't feel right for 20 mil or whatever, you know. But we'd certainly revisit it and we hope it succeeds and we wish all of our partners, you know. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, well, I interviewed Andy Miller the other day from NRG, the founder of NRG Esports as well, which will be out the following Sunday, I imagine. And he obviously runs San Francisco Shock as well. And he was saying, like, that, you know, he recognizes it's a gamble. And he was being very candid, actually. I was surprised how candid he was. He was like, you know, we know we've taken a risk. We don't know if it's paid off yet, but, you know. And it's like, fucking hell. Like, even the people in the league are like, yeah, we're not too sure about this. But, and as I said, you know, the only time you even see a real alteration in viewership is when Shanghai Dragons fucking play. Because all the Chinese get on. And they're expanding into China, obviously. I mean, that's another thing they're doing. Let's artificially pad the numbers by having more Chinese franchises. Absolutely crazy. Yeah, here's the thing, the Miner. You're right. I'd say Boston Uprising should know. But here's the thing. If you submit a roster and it goes to League Ops, the League Operations guys are going to say, yo, this is an invalid roster, guys. You can't submit that. You know, and they didn't. And then 3 minutes before the game, yeah, you guys ineligible. That's like amateur hour shit, you know.
Like,
Thanks
that's the sort
for
of shit that
gifting the
doesn't even
5
happen on a
subs
local
there,
level.
ladder. What was that, sorry?
Like on a fucking local level, like with literally like fucking the UK Premiership stuff.
Yeah.
You know, your roster's locked at the beginning of the season. You submit that roster, you have a deadline. That's just how it is. Like how for a league with that much budget, does that they must have a fucking big team of admins. Like how do you not see that?
This is the thing, though. They don't have a big team of admins anymore, by the way. They've been making a lot of cuts to try and keep costs down. And one of the things they've been doing, apparently, is like some of the PAs, or you might want to call them like personal assistants, like runners or whatever.
Yeah.
They've been trying to get them to double up as actual like referees for the game, the people who stand behind the players. Like, you know, they're just trying to get more bangs for their buck because they're dropping a lot of money on this. And let me tell you, all that fucking talk about we believe we're going to be bigger than the NFL and all that fucking bullshit, it don't ring true. None of it rings true. You know, imagine the hubris. We will be bigger than the NFL. I mean, motherfucker, like. Oh, sorry, a production assistant. There you go. Scoot's correcting me, my bad. But yeah, some of the production assistants, people who work on the production of the show, they're like, yo, here, put a referee's fucking t-shirt on and go stand behind the players as well, like.
I don't know. That seems mad. Like, if it gets to the point where you've got an Epic LAN being able to fucking do better with making sure people have their actual rosters than a Blizzard run event, it's probably not a good sign, is it?
Oh, mate, honestly, it's all over the fucking place. I think everybody knows. I mean, they've completely wrecked their, like, Tier 1 scene, right? Like, can you imagine Counter-Strike with, like, no grassroots teams at all? Like, just one league where all the top teams play and then nothing else?
It would actually be horrible.
Yeah.
It would just be disgusting.
It's like, oh, we've got contenders. Yeah, but you're cutting prize money on it and disincentivizing any investment in it by the way you've structured the league. You don't even promote it. You don't even promote your own Contenders League on your own Twitter when it's live. You know, it's like, fucking hell. The other thing they did was there was a lot of streamers that they were bringing in, like, sort of promote it, like doing content, like live on site. And they paid them in Season 1. And they were like, we're not paying you in Season 2, but we'll give you, like, loads of perks and freebies. Streamers don't work for free, motherfucker. That's not how it works.
Not especially after you've set the precedent as well.
Exactly.
Like,
you want to open up with free and then maybe go up to money. You don't go down. Yeah. I just think it's hilarious as well that like they had a bunch of unreal high-level streamers, right? They had a bunch of like you had Seagull. He's doing videos now saying this game is garbage. Like, get me out. Get me out. I think there was one the other day where, fuck, man, I think someone tweeted, like, there was something, it was a clip, actually. Like, somebody had donated to a big streamer. It was on the front of live stream file. Someone had donated to a streamer, and he was going, look, man, I get it, like, bad things are happening in your life, but don't donate telling me that, because you're bringing everybody down. You're making everybody depressed when you give a sad donation like that. I'm already depressed enough. I'm fucking playing Overwatch. I was like, I was creased, mate. Like, no one's got anything good to say about the game, like, you know what I mean?
Wasn't there a point as well when like XQC was banned or whatever, and he wasn't streaming Overwatch, he streamed a different game, and his total viewers combined for that one stream had more than Overwatch had across the entirety of Twitch, which is just like, these are the people that are keeping your game popular inside of that audience, and you're killing it.
Yep. And listen, they'll do the Riot thing. Remember how Riot literally press ganged Twitch to not allow Tyler 1 to stream League, and they were leveraging every little dirty contact they had, trying to make it so, like, we don't want him to play, so he cannot play on Twitch, you know? And the funny thing is, he went away and he played games like fucking Bully by Rockstar and stuff, and it fucking, like, it made his stream bigger. And then they were so desperate for numbers and attention, especially after Tyler 1 did that tournament where it got all that fucking, big viewership, that they brought him back and did a redemption arc where he had to play with Freak. And it's just like, how pathetic is this? Like, you cuckolded it yourself, motherfucker. And all you had to do in the first instance was be like, all right, Tyler 1's been toxic. He's broken some rules. He's been inting. It's a bad look for us. Back channel. Reach out to him privately and say, look, Tyler, seriously, man, like, we'd like to bring you into the fold because you're popular, but you've got to stop doing this shit. I get it's your brand, but can you stop X, Y, and Z, and then we'll find we'll find common ground. You know, you catch more flies with fucking honey, don't you? Yeah, and I did see that by Body. Look, I'm just not surprised anymore, guys. What do you want me to fucking say? What do you want me to say about Body that I haven't already said? Terrible decision-making. Terrible crosshair placement. I just don't get what he does for the team. Occasionally gets some frags. Like, I don't know. Do I think League uses view bots? No, of course not. I mean, it would be... they could certainly get away with it. No one would say anything. Like, you know, the people who knew. Like, even if Twitch were explicitly told, I don't think they'd fucking do anything about it. But I don't think they do. I think, you know, it's still the most popular esports game in the world. Tells you all you need to know that game's been out for a while. It's, you know, came out in 2009. It's been out for 10 years, and it's still pulling way bigger numbers than Overwatch. What? How did he get 2 there? Whatever. Like, Overwatch would kill for the numbers of even European League of Legends. Body doesn't have the right role. That's why he can't perform. In the right role, he is a top player. There isn't a single role. Like, what role is that? Like, getting water for the team? Is he good at that? Come on, man. You don't really believe that? He does plant the bomb well, I'll give him that. Nobody plants a bomb like Body. Probably not on the whole of Counter-Strike. He gets down, one smooth movement, bomb is planted. He's got that down.
He's a kind of good meat shield, at least.
Yeah, exactly.
Bullets for us, the team.
That's what Shock should do, probably. He should be like, Buddy, you follow me around the map. Stand in front. You as a, how you say, sponge. Because, how I say this without offending you, because you are shit. Yes? You are shit player.
I thought you were going to say because he hates Cloud9 fans.
Well, that too, of course. Is natural that you are shit because you are how you say talentless? Yeah, is this word? I do not know why I'm talking to you in English when you are also French. Yes, good times. Would I rather have kept Existence, so at least Shocks was free to go off? I mean, mate, come on. Existence is like the fucking Mekon. It's just a giant head with withered, spindly limbs flying round on a disc. Like, he can't do shit anymore, can he? Sick Dandare references, of course. Google the Mekon, M-E-K-O-N. Put Existence's face on it. But green, and that's what you've got pretty much.
They didn't even really try though when they had existence of like letting him do what he does best. Because I don't know, you know, what I mean, he wasn't even calling when he was there, so it was like you had an opportunity to maybe see if it would have worked, and just shot it in the head before it even had a chance.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to get Eagle as a kid too. Eagle in 2000 AD. I still got a big fucking stack of 2000 AD comics in my cupboard. (2000 AD) was the shit, mate. Easily created some of the greatest comic book characters of all time. Was British. Helped launch the careers of some of the greatest writers we produced, like Neil Gaiman and Alan Moore. Yeah, just awesome comic. Needless to say, Duncan read 2000 AD as a kid as well. He was probably reading fucking Judge Dredd and going, "Mate, he seems like a reasonable police officer, this guy." What's the problem? He is the law. Why do you want to clog up the court system with due process? Just fucking shoot them. I think the only main 2000 AD character I could never get on board with, and I never enjoyed reading, was Strontium Dog. I just could never appreciate that for some reason. Oh, thanks for the 26 months, Paint. Good to see you back, Roger. Appreciate it, my man. But Rogue Trooper was the shit. Judge Dredd was the shit. Schlan was the shit. Tharg's Future Shocks was the shit. ABC Warriors was the shit. Nemesis was the shit. I mean, like, how many more fucking unreal fucking, you know, comic book characters do you want to fucking produce? It's ridiculous. Do I think Overwatch has paid actors in the crowd? They don't pay them in money to, like, come and cheer, and it's fake like they're actors, or they pull homeless people off the streets. We'll get you in from the cold. Here, look, all you have to do is just wear the Shanghai Dragons shirt and fucking shit. Mind you, even if they were doing that, though, Shanghai Dragons? Fucking hell, I'd rather stay in the cold. Fuck this. Anyway. What they do is they have, like, super fans, right? They have, like, super fans who go out and organise bringing in other people, and they get free tickets and stuff. And they can go out to their mates and go, "Hey, I got 5 tickets for Overwatch. You want to come? All you got to do is put this on and shit." So they organise it like that, but they're not paid, but they're incentivized, I guess. Guys, I hope you're watching this. I hope somebody makes a fucking highlight reel of Body in this game, by the way. It must just be so demoralising if you're Kenny S or Shocks. Capable of greatness, and you're just looking over, right? It is Body in a 1v1. Maybe this time it go. Oh no. Why are we playing with this? How you say garbage? Is it garbage? You say garbage? Yes. Thanks for the tier 2 snowballs. You can dab on the haters now. Tier 2 in 6 months. It's mental, mate. It's just mental how bad he is. Like, I don't get it. Out of all the people who came through in that sort of, like, new wave, if you like, of fucking generic French players, why is he the one that lived? Why is he the one that, like, managed to carve out the career? Devil fallen by the wayside. You know? Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, Amanek, nowhere. Devi Doobie Duvek, nowhere. Who was the other one? XMS, nowhere. Yeah, XMS is better than this. I mean, a Sixer, come on, let's not go too far. Let's not go too far with Sixer, eh? Fucking hell. Like, there's limits, lads. There's limits. There's limits. I'm not saying Body out, Sixer in. Like, fuck, no. No, I think, no one wants that. No one wants that. Yeah, Devil had that one good series at E-League. Oh. But yeah, remember, you're right. Ba. Fucking Mixwell was in this team. Mixwell. Way better than this. Way better than Jax. Way better than Body, like. Can be a hybrid AWPer. Brings so much versatility. But do you how you say Spanish, yes? Like, come on, man. Body was a nice player for a while. Was he though? And here's the thing, mate. Fucking hell, like George Best was sober for a while, you know? Like, what are we fucking talking about it? He still fucking died of liver failure, didn't he? Like, come on. Old Georgie too lives. That was mental, that, wasn't it? Where he was like, he gave that fucking statement to the press, and he's like, listen, it's not lost on me the importance of getting this second chance, getting a new liver, and you know, someone had to die to give me this second chance, so I'm taking this very seriously. And then like the next day, he was just photoed on the lash. I mean, new liver, lads! Hey, back to fucking square one, boys.
Yeah, went through 2 livers. That is, fuck, you know.
Not bad, right?
Unreal.
Not bad, right? He sat there thinking, I can just get a third. Set precedent now. Just give me another one, wouldn't it? I remember that awful joke at the time, like when George Best died, and I was gutted when George Best died. But what's yellow and goes George Best, of course. That was too much, wasn't it, man? Who fucking come up with that one? It's outrageous. I got fucking wrecked the day George Best died. I went down to the Four Winds in Port Talbot, and I barely fucking remember it. But I literally woke up covered in sick in a body bag.
What?
Yeah. Well, we had a body bag. I don't even know how the fuck we got this body bag. But someone had literally zipped me up in a body bag and thrown me in the garage. Like, I don't know how I lived. I should have choked to death or something. I woke up in a body bag in my mate's garage. Like, I had to unzip myself from the inside covered in spew.
Maybe you literally died that night.
Yeah, who knows, mate. That was a rough one. We were drinking, what's that shit he used to drink? The fucking Black Velvet, you know, champagne and fucking Guinness, man. Fuck me. Half a Guinness topped up with champagne. That fucking absolutely leathered me, mate. It was like the one...
That's what's wrong.
What?
Fucking bodies there with a little bit of sick dribbling down his face in a body bag. Can't reach his mouse.
Yeah, maybe. It'd be a good excuse. There was another night I got wrecked in Port Talbot where I was so fucked. I don't even know why, but I slept in my mate's garden, like just overnight, and I woke up and I was covered in slugs. It had like rained in the middle of the night. I was just like fucking burned out in a garden. And I had to pick slugs off. First thing in the morning, I had to pick slugs off me. Yeah, the boys were busting my chops about that one for a while. There you were, Rich. Yeah, there you fucking were, Rich, covered in fucking slugs. Yeah, good times, man. Fuck. They definitely didn't come out into the garden in the middle of the night and put fucking slugs on me, mate. Like, it was just literally, it was like you'd gone through a swamp and you were picking off the leeches. It was just slugs. Fuck off. Yellow one here. Fucking... There's no point in telling the mushroom story again because it is a doodle. You can go listen to it anytime you want on YouTube. With the shrooms. So sorry, Bob. You'll just have to unsub, buddy. I don't think you will really unsub, though. Oh. It's like MBK always tells the fucking story about the first time he met me in person. And he went to some LAN event. Like, obviously, he's a young kid at this point. Probably like 16 or something. And, you know, he's heard about Richard Lewis and in Source and stuff. And for some reason, I think it was Halloween. I can't remember. But I was fucking wasted. And, I don't know. I think I'd wrapped myself from head to foot in toilet paper to, like, be a mummy, you know? I don't remember why or how it happened, but Nathan swears to this day, like when he first met me, he was like, "Oh, Richard Lewis is over there," and I'm just wrecked, covered in toilet paper, going, "Nah." A total stranger, some nah. Imhotep, like just fucking wrecked out my fucking mind, like, oh Christ. Just live for the banter, mate. Just live for the banter. Right. Come on, Ence. Get this pistol. Can't beat dropping an Imhotep. Hey, shit, right? Imhotep don't even mean that to me. There was this one time I used to live with this fella called Lynchy over in Middlesbrough. We had a flat, right? And, you know, we weren't the cleanliest of guys, you know? We were like young professionals, I guess is what you call it. You know, we just leave the kitchen till it devolved into some, like, state, like something out of Fallout. And then we'd crack and eventually, you know, clean it from top to bottom. You know, when we couldn't afford any more paper plates to eat off or whatever. And anyway, there was this fucking one time, I think, like, we'd got like a rotisserie chicken and not eating it and fucking just throwing it in the throwing it in the bin. And we just left the bin bag in the kitchen. And Lynchy said he could hear like this, like, like coming out of the bag. And I'm like, what's going on? He opened it, daft cunt. And it was just a fucking swarm of flies just fucking flew out of this and fucking filled the kitchen with flies. And Lynchy's coming out like, Imhotep! Imhotep! I'm like, what the fuck are you on about? And we just got a kitchen full of fucking flies, man. Jesus Christ. That was a rough one. Who is worse, Body or Zeus? Obviously Zeus. Obviously Zeus. Yeah, Imhotep's the fucking mummy. You know, fucking spits flies at people because he's come back from the grave and somehow it's like the embodiment of pestilence. That was my fucking kitchen. Didn't have money for bleach, but we always had money for beak. Funny how that works, isn't it? Funny how that works. Yeah, I did see Dennis's tweet last night, and I did give it a cheeky retweet. He's not fucking wrong. Dennis saying, don't know what happened, can't play this game anymore. Yeah, no fucking shit. I'm having to watch it, mate. You're living it. Imagine being me. At least you get like a subjective view of like, oh, maybe I could have done it. Lie to yourself a little bit. I'm stuck out here on the outside of your brain just watching it. And that thread, by the way, that Reddit thread, by the way, Nip fans are mental. Nip fans are they're not the worst fans in terms of abuse or anything. They're just the most deluded fans, I think. Loads of people in that thread going, yeah, it's weird, isn't it? He's just been in a bit of a slump lately. His entire Nip career, of course. And like loads of people in there going, but we just want God Dennis back, and like, we're not going to kick him. And I stand with Dennis. Like, what are you talking about? Are you real sports fans or what? Because let me tell you, as a Newcastle fan, I don't give a fuck about the players that play dog shit week in and week out. I don't want them on my team. I want them sold to some other club so they can be some other cunt's problem. I don't sit there with a striker who can't hit a cow's ass with a fucking banjo going, I just want him to be good. No, I want him off my fucking team and someone who's competent brought in.
Also known as Hossaloo. Fucking shit.
Yeah. You're not wrong up there, brother. You have to understand the shit I've seen as a Newcastle fan. You don't get it. I saw Titus Bramble, for fuck's sake.
Oh, I forgot about him. No.
You don't understand, and at no point did I ever say, I'm fucking up Titus Bramble stops being a bumbling, clumsy cunt and gets his shit together to get him out my team. Ship him off to the Mackhams, get him out. Trying to think, who's worse than fucking Titus Bramble? Marcelinho? Remember that cunt?
Yeah, I do. It's back in the early 2000s, wasn't it?
Yeah. John Beresford. He's not even the worst left back we fucking had. I can't deal with it. He had that one season when Kenny Dalglish sold everyone good, brought in Ian Rush, brought in John Barnes. Combined age of like fucking 5,000. And then John Beresford was our top scorer that season with like 11 goals in all competitions. Like, tight. We don't. What's that? Alan Shearer's ruptured his cruise ship. We won't need that Les Ferdinand then. You can go to Tottenham, Sir Les. No problem with that. Bit of creativity in midfield. Nah, don't worry about that. We'll sell David Ginola. You can go to Tottenham as well. One of our, close in the league kind of rivals. No problem there. We'll bring in 37-year-old Ian Rush, 34-year-old John Barnes, and a young guy, Paul Dalglish. Oh, same surname as me. Yeah, it's weird. He is my son. Yeah. Fuck off, Kenny Dalglish. He should have gone to prison for what he did to Newcastle. What a cunt.
We got reamed out Sol Campbell for like 10 matches or something.
Great,
Michael
wasn't
Owen
it?
Came over, did fuck all. So
Yeah, Michael Owen, yeah. Do you remember after he left Newcastle as well, right? He fucking had this, I don't know if you ever heard about this, but he had this deck that was going around, like a deck to sell himself to other teams, because obviously he was a big injury concern, And in it was like, Michael Owen, family man, right? And it was like it talked about everything but football. Entrepreneur, breeds horses. And it was like all this stuff. Like, what? Is this real? Is this how you're pitching him? A fucking teams, is it? What a cunt. Fuck Michael Owen as well, by the way. Lazy little fucking gremlin.
Oh, I didn't know he did that.
Yeah, legit, man. Legit. Oh, there you go. Boom Song and Bramble, the fucking Legion of Doom. That was it, wasn't it? It's Bramble to Boom Song. Boom Song's fell over. Bramble goes to help him up. He's fell over. They both fell over. It was just like, it's a fucking nightmare. Like watching the fucking Chuckle Brothers. To me, to you. We're on the floor. Goal scored. The fucking Legion of Doom, mate. Fuck, being a Newcastle fan is fucking rough. Yeah, and I know, and Stevie Taylor cruised on the fact he was a local lad, like Steve Howie before him for fucking years. It's Darren Peacock now! Get me out. Darren Peacock. Oh, Christ, why? Who was that Brazilian one Sam Allardyce fucking signed? Caçapa or whatever he was called. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah. I can't remember his name, but yeah, I remember.
He played one game, he was so fucking lightweight, he was getting knocked off the ball like he was fucking 10. Because obviously fucking Sam Allardyce came in. Is this Football Manager? I'll just sign all the free players and that. Just like I did at Bolton. Worked, didn't it? Jardel wasn't a fat mess. We didn't have to put Jardel on Atkins before we could even fucking play him. No problem. Free transfers, innit? Free transfers.
Nah, is there someone saying Lauren Robert was one of our worst players? He was actually legit.
Mate, we had a long history of wicked fucking left wingers, man. That was the one position we got right. If you ever saw fucking Ginola in his prime, man, you were fucking spoilt with that.
Yeah. Fucking amazing player.
Can't believe he had a fucking heart attack like 2 years back.
Yeah.
Mental, innit? Glad he fucking recovered. Absolute legend. Didn't even want to leave, Toon. But Kenny came in. What's that? You've got talent in that. Fucking get out of my side. Get me Ian Rush jobs for the boys. I don't know, like Kenny. I think I'm a bit fucking old, like. Nah, you're fine. 37, you're in your prime. The bad thing is, as well, they gave him, when he was in Leeds, they gave him the FA Cup goal scoring record because he had a shot, fucked it up, pushed David Unsworth into the ball. The ball bounced off David Unsworth, went in, and because it was like, Ian Rush has the FA Cup record now, they were all just cheering. I'm like, hang on, that's definitely an OG, isn't it? Like, but whatever, fuck it. Fucking Ian Rush. We had him after Leeds, I think. Fucking hell.
Yeah, we had a lot of like players who used to be sick and came to us and were like just over the hill completely.
Yeah, and then they went to see the nightclub. Mate, the funniest story I ever fucking heard relating to fuck, I can't remember who told it now. Oh yeah, I do remember it, right? So it was when Bobby Robson was at the club. The legend Sir Bobby, rest in peace.
Yeah.
And they were interviewing Shola Amiobi. Right, now, if you know Bobby Robson's career, he always had problems with like pronunciation of, foreign sounding names and stuff like that, right? And so they were interviewing Shola Amiobi, local lad, went to school in Newcastle, fucking, coming through the youth, was getting into the first team. And they were interviewing him on TV and that, and they were like, so how are you bedding into the team? And, Sir Bobby, there's a good vibe around the team, isn't there? And he's going, yeah, playing with some great young lads, and we're doing really well at the moment, And then as a fun question at the end, right, the interviewer said, like, oh, and obviously Sir Bobby's notorious for getting names wrong, isn't he, and mispronouncing names. So what does he call you around the training ground? And Shola Amiobi goes, Carl Court.
Oh, that's class.
Banter, mate. Fucking hell.
Oh, there's another couple of players I just remembered. Nobby Solano and
Yeah.
Faustino Aspria.
Mate.
Mr. Bendy.
Mate, Nobby was a fucking boy. What a boy. Peruvian fucking super player, like. I bet he's playing in my daughter games now, reckon me. What a fucking legend. But yeah, that team that we had, where it was all young lads, and it was just like Bobby Robson was like, obviously they're young and they've got to have fun and let off some steam, but they're all fully dedicated to the cause of Newcastle United. And then you would just read the local papers, you pick up the Northern Echo, like, Kieran Dyer and Carl caught on roasting girl on sex tape, and you're like, fucking make it stop. Like, I used to go down to see nightclub all the time. You'd see the players in there like every fucking night. Every night, like. Every night.
He recently released a book, didn't he, Dyer?
Probably, yeah. All those rumours going around about him, does he? Yeah, Jermaine Genius, that was it. There was that mad story, wasn't there? Do you remember that video that came out where Ashley Cole had put a phone up his ass? Do you not remember that?
No.
Yeah, mate. Ashley Cole, apparently, they'd gone on some fucking tour or something. And for a bit of banter, he'd stuck a mobile phone up his ass on set to vibrate. And him and, like, Jermaine... Yeah, no, there was a song about it. You know that song, Why do you want to put stars in their eyes? They all used to sing it to him. Why would you want to stick a phone up your ass? Ashley Cole, why would you want to stick a phone up your ass? Yeah, it was in the fucking Sun or the Mirror or something.
Just a bit of banter. Phone up arse.
Yeah, man.
Fucking...
He was a fucking legend, Ashley Cole. He was a player who got a lot of shit, man. He was a good fucking player.
Yeah, did you he went across to which was it, Roma he played for? He played for someone in Syria, didn't he? Italian.
Yeah. Yeah, he went to it was Roma at the end, I think. Yeah, here you go. Look, what's this? Premiership players in mobiles up your bum scandal. What's that about?
Sorry?
Yeah, just Google it, mate. Just Google it. Like,
what a title that is as well. Up your bum scandal.
Yeah, I know, right?
What? When I've googled that, it's come up with my backside of the story. My journey into the black market butt injection scandal. It's a book on Amazon.
But yeah, that's what they used to sing to him. So why would you want to stick the phone up your ass? The song's on YouTube, like it must be real. So yeah, Ashley Cole was a good lad, good player.
These buzzies and their phones in their bum.
That's what it is, isn't it, mate? They want to be a buzzy bee. So they get their phone, set on vibrate, and they're going, bzz, bzz. Oh, I'm a bee now.
Looks like some nice nectar.
Gonna
Now call my mobile, Jonathan.
Gonna synthesize this in a honey. Shea Gibbon was a legend. Won't have a bad word said against Shea Gibbon.
Yep. One of the best keepers we ever had.
He was a Kenny Dalglish signing, actually, if I remember rightly. Probably the best thing he ever did for the team. Because he brought him over from Blackburn, right? Because Kenny had managed over there, you know.
Right, buddy. Put the pipe down, mate. You've had your fun.
Mate, it's too much, isn't it?
The thing with Given as well is for a keeper, I think he was quite short.
5'10".
Keepers like 6'2", 6'3", right? Plus,
yeah.
But I think he was 6 foot or below, like maybe 5'11" or something.
Yeah, I've stood right next to him. He's like, I think he's a little bit shorter than me. So about 5'10", 5'11", something like that.
But he would make some fucking unreal shot stops.
Oh yeah, he was great. Like he was great. Just reflex saves. He was brilliant for that.
Didn't he go after like Villa and Man City or something afterwards?
City then Villa. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. I think this is winnable. I think Body will do something dumb. Is he going to peek him? Nah. Jack's held his nerve there.
Speaking of Newcastle, we've got a really important match today against Huddersfield.
I know. Sign of the times, innit? Sentences you never want to say when you remember the fucking Keegan days. Super important match today, like. Oh, Champions League, is it? Huddersfield. And back to bed. Back to bed for me.
Because we're a point above Southampton, who are 18th, and Huddersfield are rock bottom. But that Almiron guy that we just signed is playing today, Mick.
Yeah. I saw him at Atlanta United. He's fucking mustard, mate. He looked really good. I know it's the fucking MLS, so make of that what you will, but
yeah, he does look good from what I've seen. Oh, fucking hell, I forgot about that. The Lee Boyer versus Kieran Dyer fight on the pitch. Oh.
What? Oh, yeah, you remember that? Lee Boyer, Kieran Dyer punching each other in the fucking face. Also under Bobby Robson's expert tutelage and guidance. The thing is, man, he had so many talented young players in that team, but they just didn't respect him at all. That was the problem. They just fucking ran wild at that time. Sub, if you see this, are you gonna be on DND forever? I don't know what's going on there. That's just noise, isn't it? What's that like? Oh, did Spurs lose?
Yeah, we're 2-1 against Burnley.
Fuck, man. I hope the fans, they're not turning on Pochettino. I think he's done wonders at Tottenham, man.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, they had no signings last summer, right?
Mm.
Or January. Like, pretty unreal.
Yeah. Thanks for the sub there, Keely Leet. Very kind of you to thank me for my work. Past the year mark now, 13 months. Unlucky for some. Right, let's put this to bed. It's over. If you're a G2 fan, rejoice. Rejoice. Yeah, that Man U Liverpool game will have a bit of fucking spice to it, especially with Solskjaer back at the helm. They'll take great pleasure in derailing their title push.